And what's up everyone, it is Brad here, and welcome today to another episode of askbrick. Askbrick is my Q&A show here across social media where you guys ask me LEGO related questions in the comments on either YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, or like Instagram stories, Instagram DMs, or whatever it is. Wherever you have a comment for me, send it my way, and I will answer it up here on video. In this week's episode, we've got tons of really great questions, so let's get right into it. This one's from PinkBread14. Askbrick, do you think you can make more content about LEGO CMFs? I actually haven't made any content about LEGO CMFs in a while. I think the last time I made content was when the newest series came out. The second last newest series. I haven't even bought any of the space minifigures yet. The last video I made on it was obviously testing out whether the QR codes work or not, and the results were kind of inconclusive because I wasn't able to obtain the minifigures that I was looking for. Well, I guess I was, but the app wasn't working. Anyway, you guys will have to watch that video if you want to learn a little bit more, but yeah, that's the last time I made any videos about the CMFs. I was going to make content about the space one because I heard that the app got fixed. I went to the store, started scanning them, and then the app wasn't fixed yet. But in the meantime, I have been given a new app that I guess it works much better, and I tried that at the store randomly in Chicago, and it did work. However, I didn't buy any minifigures because it was in Chicago. The price is the same. Currency would have been really bad for me, so I haven't bought any of the new space ones yet. I should go buy some new space ones because they're pretty cool figures, and I want to make sure I add them in my collection. So will I make more content about CMFs? Yes, I will eventually, most likely. I just haven't got around to it because I haven't been buying the CMFs. But that's the long-winded answer to your question. This next question is from RKM Nico. Askbrick, do you happen to know how many weeks or months in advance does a pick-a-brick wall refresh its pieces? So I do actually. I used to work at the LEGO store. So the short answer is every store is a little bit different. However, most stores do get shipments on a weekly basis for a pick-a-brick especially. So basically what this means is stores will order all their pick-a-brick and they'll get it delivered to their store. However, those parts can't go out until the other parts have sold. So that's why I said it's a little case-by-case basis, depends on the store. Some stores may order a lot at once and then be going through that stock for weeks and weeks before they're able to put the new stock out. They try and push like the stock out that people will want to buy the most to get it out and kind of get it on the floor. So if you like look around and you see other LEGO stores getting cool stock, that your store might have that as well. But then there's also the parts that are always on the wall, the more basic ones, the ones that are pretty standard. You can pretty much find them at any LEGO store. So those ones will kind of just always be there. And then all the new parts, as I said, most of the time they do get shipments every week, and it just is a matter of when they're actually able to put them on the wall and get them out the door. Sometimes it's instantly, sometimes it's the same day, sometimes they'll even let you just grab it from the box and it doesn't even make it to the wall. So it really does depend on your store. My best piece of advice would just be to call your store and ask, how often do you refresh your PAB wall? Some parts, as I said, will be there for a long time. Some parts will barely even make it or not even make it to the wall because the shipment is so frequent. So it really just does depend on the store, and it honestly depends on the part a little. I don't know if I really explained that very well, and I don't know if you guys got the full gist of what you were asking there, so feel free to follow up in the comments below if you do have additional questions about that. This one's from Liam Simpson24. Askbrick, if I'm buying sets for Bricklink to part out, should you buy more smaller sets or one larger set, assuming they are both worth the same value when reselling? When I used to start my Bricklink store, I was just trying to get lots into the store and new parts. So I was buying I'd buy a single mixel, like one $6 mixel, and I would part that out just to get some parts in the store. Now that I've done Bricklink for a little bit longer, my strategy is a bit different. I would much rather part out 10 of a single set if it's worthwhile than like 5 of 2 different sets, because it's when people want to buy parts in quantity. Like if you're a mock builder, stuff like that, you're looking for a high quantity of one part. So if I'm parting out 10 of them, you're going to be able to get that high quantity, versus if I part out 3 of the set, 2 of the set, 3 of the set, 4 of the set, like you're not going to be able to get that same quantity. You're going to have more variety for sure, but less quantity. So I guess it really just also depends on what kind of store you're running. I'm not a very big store, so I only part out a few sets at a time anyway, and that's also because I live in Toronto and we don't have clearance very often. So I'm only able to go to a store or two and get 3 or 4 of a set. I'm not able to get like 30 of the same set just because I don't have that many like Walmarts and stuff like that even close by. So for me, I think it's definitely better if you buy a couple medium-sized, larger sets and part multiple out than if you're just buying like a couple, 1 or 2 small sets and then multiple of them. Yeah, you're going to give it a lot of variety and it's going to give you, but it's a trade-off because some people want variety when they're ordering from a store. They might want a piece here, a piece there, a piece there, and they order a lot of different lots in low quantities, or they might come to your store because they want a lot of one lot in a high quantity. So it really just kind of depends on what kind of store that you're going with for, but typically typically I see best results when I part out multiple of one set. But I do feel for Bricklink advice, you guys should probably go to a Bricklink expert and not me. I just do it for fun. Alright, this next one is from 7 Sway Cars. Ask Brick, what do you do with your LEGO instructions when you're done with them? Oh man, this is not a good thing to do. I'm going to show you what I do, but I don't recommend it. So beyond just leaving some of the instructions on the floor when I'm done with them, because I do that for a while, a majority of my instructions actually hide here underneath my LEGO City table. I've got to move the light out of the way to show you, but basically, I hide them here. I've got this box right here full of LEGO instruction manuals. These are all the recent sets that I've built up, and I just throw them right here. I've got a bunch there. And in fact, the rest of them are actually even farther under the city table, and they're all in these boxes here and this bin. You guys would have seen when I made the LEGO Insiders video last year, me pulling all my instruction manuals out, but basically I don't have any way to organize or sort them, and they're just in several different bins hidden way underneath my LEGO City table. It's not a good system, I do not recommend it, but that's where they all go. I don't want to get rid of them just yet, and I'm glad I didn't because I made money on the LEGO Insiders points there, but I do just put them there, and they're hidden in my LEGO room, basically trying to get them out of the way. Out of sight, out of mind is how I look at it, so yeah, that's kind of where I store all my LEGO instruction manuals. They're just in random bins, and as soon as the bin's full, I start a new one. They're not organized by theme or year or anything like that. If I had a massive mansion with unlimited space, I'd probably want to organize them in a filing cabinet by maybe theme or by year or something like that, probably by theme and then alphabetically, but that's thinking way too far in advance. I'm not even close to being there yet. I have limited space here in my condo. Why would I want to store LEGO instruction manuals here in like filing cabinets and stuff like that when I could just store more LEGO sets? So it's not a priority for me to organize them very nicely. That's why they're kind of sorted the way they are, but yeah, that's what I do with my LEGO instructions when I'm done with them. It's not a good system. In fact, when I want to rebuild a LEGO set, I just Google them and find the instructions there instead of trying to dig through the bins because it's just not worth it, but that's essentially what I do with them. Someday I'll throw them out, but that's not today. This is a really great question. This one is from Ostif Bricks. Ask Brick, what is your favorite underrated memory of BrickWorld Chicago 2024? That is a great question. I would say that my favorite underrated memory from BrickWorld, and I don't even think it's underrated, I think it's like the perfect rating. I think any of my favorite memories are actually ones that were never captured on camera. And I think a lot of us who go to this convention can agree. Yeah, you have a lot of fun at the convention. Obviously, walking around the hall with your friends, buying Lego shopping, looking at all the mocks and like playing the games and doing the activities at BrickWorld, those are a lot of fun and have great memories. But I think most will agree, like, the best memories are going out for dinner with your friends, hanging out in the convention hall at 5 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning in our case with your friends, just chilling in the lobby, like talking to people around the convention center, like introducing yourself, making new friends. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is the best memories come from hanging out with your friends. And for me, a lot of times, I don't film those moments. I barely filmed when we were in the convention center multiple nights until like 3 a.m. one night, 4 a.m. the next night, 6:30 a.m. on the last night, like hanging out there. And it's partly because like when you're hanging out with your friends, you don't want to film it. People, like, we're out there, we're enjoying some beverages. Some people drink a lot of beverages and they don't want that shown on camera if they're a family-friendly channel or they have this like kind of persona and stuff like that. And like other times you're just having conversations that, again, you don't want shared on the internet. So a lot of these hangouts and moments, like, people aren't filming. They're just sitting there, they're enjoying their time. It's very, very rare. Like, and it kind of kills the vibe if you're hanging out with your friends and next thing you know, there's a vlog camera in your face. Like, yeah, you got to know the time and place. There are some people that I'll film a lot with. There are other people I don't film much with. And that just like, it depends on what the vibe is. I feel like you got to read the room, and that's why you'll see a lot of me like in the day hanging out with friends, and then at night there's not a lot of footage from that. It's just because they're different vibes, different people are comfortable with different things. But I would say those are definitely the underrated memories, like the ones that actually weren't caught on camera. I'm lucky. I feel like a lot of the great memories I have this year were caught on camera. Some of the footage I shared in the vlog, some of it's just for me. But yeah, literally for the most part, most of the best memories from BrickWorld are just like hanging out with friends and chilling with people, and most of that isn't caught on camera. So Ostif, a lot of the memories that we had together that weekend are some of my underrated ones, like even the ones I did film, going to the car, grabbing your cooler, which is a sick cooler, by the way. That was a really cool memory. And then just like that whole rest of the night, hanging out in your room, going to the illegal garage sale, like some of it's filmed, some of it's not. But regardless, like those memories with friends are the ones that are, in my opinion, the most underrated. And I feel like most people on the internet don't even realize we experience these moments because they're not documented. So it's pretty special and it's a lot of fun. This next question is from PNG_bricks. Ask Brick, are you running out of space for your Lego like the rest of us? I'm actually going to be making a whole video on this in the near future because the short answer is yes, but the long answer is no. Basically what I mean by that is when you look around my Lego room here, you're like, oh, it's pretty full. All the shelves, seem to be full. There doesn't seem to, be very much white space. There's actually even stuff on the floor. There's sets in boxes, and there's all these sets and builds over here that are just sitting on the floor because they don't even have a home yet. So yeah, it might seem like my Lego room is running out of space, but realistically it's not. And that's why I'm going to be making a whole different video on this because I have some fun ideas. But you'll start to see like around there is a little bit of white space here and there. There's rooms where I can consolidate more sets. Like there's even room back here on the architecture stuff. Like there are places where more sets can definitely go. At first glance, like I said though, it does look a little bit crowded and it does look like I'm running out of space, but I somehow always manage to find more space. So yeah, I guess you could kind of say I'm technically running out of space, but the reason I'm going to be making that video is because I'm going to show you guys how I'm able to take what is appearing to be a completely full Lego room and make more space out of it, because I always manage to find a way. But I don't want to buy more bookshelves. That's not in the cards right now, but maybe someday. But that's what happened one of the other times I ran out of space. Like right now I have 12 bookshelves. I actually moved in and opened my Lego studio with only 8 bookshelves, and then eventually I was like, oh my god, I think my Lego room's a little full. I think I'm out of space, and I ended up ordering 4 more. And I feel like I'm kind of at that time where I probably should think about getting some more space. Like I definitely could put a few more bookshelves behind the camera here. I don't really want to because you're not going to be able to see those sets very well, but that time might come. But in the meantime, I've got other plans for it, and I'll take you guys along for the ride. This next question is from Josh Ask Brick. Does the Lego Pick-a-Brick wall offer Lego Technic parts? The short answer is no. I don't think I've ever really seen Lego Technic parts on the wall. I feel like there maybe once in a while are parts that could be arguably Technic, but for the most part, you're not finding Technic parts on the wall. It's mostly the basic Lego system brick and other pieces and stuff like that that have a more appeal to the wider audience. Your best bet to get Lego Technic sets would be to order them online or buy Lego Technic sets. But yeah, I don't think you'll really find Technic parts on the Pick-a-Brick wall. I think that'd be pretty rare. Alright, we've got one more question for today's episode. This one is from Mr. Viscom78. Ask Brick, what is your strategy when you buy loose bulk Lego bricks? How do you make the most of it? So that's a great question, and I'm actually making a video about this right now, coincidentally, stemming from all the Lego that I bought at BrickWorld. How do I make the most of my Lego? It varies a little, and I'm not going to spoil that whole video because I want to take you guys along, like I want to show you what I do, but it basically just depends on what I'm buying. Like if I'm getting a bin of bulk Lego like I did a few months ago and I have no idea, like there's no instructions, there's not really minifigures, no really defining parts to know what's inside, I basically get that bulk Lego, wash it, and just sort it into the rest of my Lego collection. If I get bulk Lego that has instructions and stuff like that included, I will, and I'm interested in the sets, I will try and piece the sets together. In fact, right here, I have a ton of boxes of bulk Lego. There's just a bunch of Lego in boxes. Lego may be part of the sets, it may not be. I got those on Marketplace years ago. I even have boxes of Lego in my closet as well that have some instructions with them, but it's just like bulk bricks. So one of these days I want to go through those instructions and see if I can try and match the pieces to the sets. So when I have things like that, I will keep them separate. I'll keep them in their bins, and I'll try and go through that at one point and try and piece the sets together. If it doesn't have instructions or boxes and it's just random loose brick, it gets sorted out into my Lego collection almost immediately. And if I'm buying lots that have the sets actually still built or divided, I will try and keep those sets together. I just got a bunch at BrickWorld. That's part of the reason why I'm making this video. Some of the sets I'm going to be tearing apart, washing, and rebuilding. Some of them I'm just going to be rebuilding. Some of them I'm not even going to rebuild because they're already built. So yeah, I'm going to make a video on that, but that's basically how I make the most. That's my strategy for used Lego bricks. I just try and incorporate them into my collection, whether I incorporate it through my parts bin and actually be able to use those parts to build, or I incorporate them through putting them on display shelves and stuff like that. It is harder to incorporate the sets when they're like broken down in bulk Lego bins with just instructions and stuff like that, and that's why these boxes behind me have been sitting there since yikes, I think like 2018 or 2019. Like it's been a long time. And the same with the Lego in the closet. It takes a while to go through all that stuff. So that's why I just kind of hoard that for now and focus on the other stuff that I'm up to. But anyway, that is all for today's episode of Ask Brick. Thank you all so much for all your great questions. I really enjoyed answering them up here on video. Of course, if you guys do have questions for future episodes, please don't forget to leave them down in the comments below. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching this one, and I'll see you guys here in the next one.